Become the witch or wizard you want to be here in Hogwarts Legacy.
Welcome back to another episode of Growing the Show. Today we're going to be talking about Hogwarts Legacy.
I'm excited.
I'm super excited. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below.
And like that shit.
Please. All right, Brad. So we finally get our dreams come true as we get to be a wizard and we get to go to Hogwarts.
I mean, both of us are really big Harry Potter fans. Have been for a long time. So it's kind of, I've been waiting on this game for so fucking long.
Yeah,
I'm glad
too.
they're finally like, all right, it's coming out this year. They just did the reveal trailer. What'd you think about it?
It was pretty intense. I didn't know what to expect from the game. I've heard a lot of rumors, a lot of stuff coming out over this past year or so, what the game's going to be. Open world type Harry Potter game where you're at Hogwarts and you're a student. It's not as crazy and fantastic as like I think I had in mind. I was actually hoping it was going to be like a game where you could go through school, finish school, and then like go live your life out in the wizarding world or something like that. But that's too much of a
that's a lot.
That's a whole simulation at that point.
Yeah, I can't get married in the game, have a baby, My
But
baby goes off to wizard school.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I think it's cool. The main thing I'm wondering is if this is like a 1 year, one-off story. Because from the trailer, that's kind of what it seemed to be.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're doing it. I mean, I know you're starting in year 5.
Yeah.
But there are a couple things like I didn't understand about that. Like there's a part where you can like build a house, right? And it's like no other students got houses on fucking
I think it's
of Hogwarts.
I think it's in like the room of requirement. And that's like one of these rooms that you can keep your beasts in or whatever and build some stuff. Yeah, it seems crazy. But I had the same question. It's like, all right, you're year 5. Are you coming from a different wizarding school? Like, are you just now finding out you're a wizard?
I'm assuming, yeah, because at the beginning the girl goes, "Oh, so you're the new kid," or whatever.
But at another point in the trailer, like, "Oh, but you have to catch up to the other kids in your year." And I'm like, well, does that mean doesn't know that he was a wizard? Like, what's going on? You know?
Yeah, I mean something there, but I mean, I feel like that part will be fine. I mean, one of the things, I mean, we've been playing a lot of Elden Ring. I just said I mean like 14 times, by the way. But we've been playing a lot of Elden Ring, and Elden Ring, it's such a game doesn't tell you anything, right? And you don't have a real story there. I know people are like, you got a story. Well, I don't remember the story because it's a lot of reading.
Anything.
I'm confused. With this game, the one thing I'm really hoping they get right is the story.
Yes.
Because it is a game that requires a great story. That's why Harry Potter is one of the best stories ever written, right? I mean, when it comes to culturally.
Yeah, sure. At least in our generation in particular, that series is huge. It made J.K. Rowling a billionaire, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping I just want them to get the story right.
So I think with the story, it's basing off in 1800s sometime. I don't remember if it's early or late. I think it's late 1800s, if I'm not mistaken. Which is going to be a little weird because this is going to be way before any of the other stuff happened, I believe. Because I think Harry Potter, I think that happened like the 80s, the 1980s. I think that's when that's like taking place. I may be wrong with that.
I thought it was the 90s, but
it may be going into the 90s. I'm not sure exactly when, but it's around that time period. So if we're getting like 100 years before then, I'm assuming, maybe that's even too early because I didn't hear any rumblings of Dumbledore or anything like that. I would assume he would still be alive in the late 1800s.
I mean, he would be a kid. I mean, because he was like, what was he in the books?
I thought he was like
120 or something like that.
Yeah, so
so he might have been a younger guy, but he might be around. I don't know. Maybe that's one of the things they're gonna throw in there. Maybe you do get to meet a young Dumbledore or a young McGonagall or something.
Sure.
Those characters. But who knows? They can really do so much with it. It would be cool to throw that in there as an Easter egg. If not, it's not really a big deal. I guess it's from what I've seen from that reveal trailer, the story looks kind of similar to Harry Potter, where the goblin,
Yeah, I think this is like the Goblin Rebellion that you like.
Yeah, it was the Goblin Rebellion, and the main goblin. I don't know his name, but the main goblin, he kind of shares something with your character, kind of like Harry and Voldemort. And I mean, that'll be cool when they go into that. And I'm just hoping they get that story right. I want to do I mean, things I really want from the game. I really want to explore Hogwarts. I'm hoping everything doesn't seem empty. I'm hoping there's a lot of fun stuff to do. One of the things I'm really, really hoping they do, which I think they are, is Quidditch.
Yeah.
Which will be badass if you can play Quidditch.
I hope it's good. I'm just hoping it's not gonna be like a weird mechanic like Blitzball was at Final Fantasy X. Like I have this thing where I love this like Blitzball, but the mechanics are so weird. So I hope Quidditch is good. You know,
I think that hard, especially if you're a seeker.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah, you're looking
just
around.
flying. Yeah. But yeah, no, it would be cool. Just those things. And I want to see, with the world, I wonder how in depth they're going to go with it. Like, are there areas that we haven't seen in the Harry Potter movie or in books other than dungeons? Maybe in the books, if they've mentioned different cities, do we get to go there? I'm interested to see how big this world is.
Yeah, I'm wondering that too. It seems like obviously Hogwarts. You saw Hogsmeade. It seemed they even said the surrounding area of Hogsmeade. So I'm assuming you're going to be able to explore the surrounding area of at least Hogwarts and stuff like that. I'm assuming you got to go to Diagon Alley. You know what I mean? Like that to have a Hogwarts game where you don't go to Diagon Alley just seems like, a total.
Yeah, they will that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll do that.
And then outside of that, I don't know if just random places. Like it seemed like from the trailer, it just seemed like random places, but there's nothing that we can like. This is way before anything that we know is like the Harry Potter world, which I actually like as well. Like I'm glad it's not in that whole same universe, or it's in the same universe but not that same timeline. And I think it'll be interesting just because I feel like it's different than what we see in the shows. Like you hear about the wizards before or whatever it is, and it just seems like the stories were so much different. Like they use swords. Like you're gonna see goblins attacking you with swords and wizards that possibly have swords and stuff too. So I'm wondering like how the combat mechanic is gonna be. And the other thing I'm wondering is how hard or difficult this game is gonna be. Once again, we've been playing Elden Ring super hard. And I look at the mechanics of this new Harry Potter game, and you're casting a bunch of spells, you're doing all this stuff. Is it fluid? Are you going to use like a mana cost or something like that, or is it just going to come naturally? Can you build combos with spells that you learn? Like that's going to be super interesting to me to get into that. And obviously, I think what everyone wants to do is get into their house. I think me and you are pretty similar. We already know what house we're going to be. 1, 2, 3. Slytherin.
That's
Yep,
right.
that's right. Exactly.
We didn't do that on time together at all, but we know. Yeah, we know. Hell yeah. Well, and that's another thing. You're right about the mechanic. Now, for difficulty, I think obviously this is going to be a game where they have real difficulties, and I think if you play it on easy, it's going to be very easy.
Sure.
Because of the types of fans that are going to be playing this game, you're going to have young and old. And I think that they're gonna they're gonna make it to where.
But this looks like a very puzzle-based game as well. Yeah. So like, Resident Evil, any of these games that you play on easy or hardcore mode, like the puzzles are the same. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. Take down the difficulty of the puzzles.
I have a feeling the puzzles aren't going to be that hard. There might be some harder ones. And again, I'm not saying the game's going to be easy. You can probably, on a normal or even going to hard playthrough, it'll probably be challenging. I just have a feeling they're going to make it to where, easy mode in this game's going to be very easy. I think this game that because of who's going to play it. You know?
This game is marketing to two different age groups right now. Like, obviously, you got the people who grew up on it, who are our age and our generation, and a little bit older as well, just from, reading the books with their kids or whatever it may be. And then you got the people whose parents grew up on it, or sisters and brothers grew up on it. And, they may not know as much. Like, my kids are reading it right now. Like, my daughter's going through the Harry Potter books and stuff. And, I'm sure she'd want to play a game like this. But is this a game that she's going to be able to jump into? I don't know. Like, we're going to have to see.
Yeah. And that's kind of my point. I just have a feeling they're going to do that. Because I think there's also going to be a lot of people that aren't real gamers that are going to play this game. Older people. Our age and up that are just huge Harry Potter fans and want to, get a taste of that. Just real casual gamers. But when you talk about mechanics too, and we talk about the houses, like I'm interested to seeing how the houses affects your play style because I'm assuming it is, right?
They have to, right?
And because there's a point in the game where you hear him use the was it the Avada Kedavra curse?
The killing curse.
Yeah, so you hear him use it, so that means you're going to be able to
Yeah,
use it. So I'm interested
exactly.
to see is what that comes with. Like,
Well,
how can you use it? Why can you use it?
and it seems like that's like it's almost. Did you ever play Fable?
No.
Um, well, it's there's one of many games that do this, but like, depending on how you played, you would either go like evil or like good. So you'd either get like a hate, like one of the games you would get a Halo, or you'd start getting Devil Horns. So I'm wondering if it's going to be like that. Is this going to be a game where like maybe you do get manipulated to the dark side, into dark magic and joining the dark wizards and
In the reveal, they said you can go down the wrong road and into the dark magic and stuff. So I'm assuming that is going to be the case.
and if that's the case, man,
I'm
that's what
going
I'm
straight
doing.
evil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I hope it is because it gives such good like playability of the game. Because
And that's what I'm
if
hoping
that
for.
game's good, then yeah, I would play it evil and I'd play it good or good first. Maybe that way I can see the different endings and um yeah, I definitely think that that would be beneficial towards the story itself.
Hmm.
To being able to choose that outcome of that lore. Um, but yeah, now man, I really hope it is just like that, and I hope that they do a great job because it would be terrible if this game sucks.
Well, what's your biggest hope in the game? Like, what's the thing you're looking forward to the most? Not even anything that they showed in the trailer, but what's something that you are hoping to be able to do in this game?
It's not necessarily anything I'm hoping to do, and I think it's one of the things they're trying to do is just to make an immersive world. I, as a big Harry Potter fan, I could spend hours just exploring Hogwarts or just walking around Hogsmeade and talking to people, and I hope they put a lot into the environment for that reason. It sounds like they have because they made a division for Harry Potter stuff for this game, Portkey,
Hmm.
right? And in that trailer, all of them seem to be because I don't know. Did you watch the part where the creators talk about it?
Yep.
So they all seem to be very big Harry Potter
Yeah.
fans, which is what you need in a game like this. So, um, yeah, that's all I'm hoping to see. I just want it to be a very immersive environment for me to go and feel like I am part of the Harry Potter world.